Welcome back to Don't Call Me Crazy, Call Me Mom podcast. This is a judgment-free zone where we talk about all things motherhood.
And today's episode, we are going to be talking about ending our current school year with our kids and what grades they're in and feelings about that, and going into summertime and how we plan for our summers and how the emotions go into that, and how some parents have to be in a completely different situation than we are, and just all that there is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we both have first graders. Mm-hmm. They will be going to second grade next year. So tell me your thoughts, kindergarten versus first grade, how you felt like starting kindergarten, because I know we both felt the same way. And that can be an episode too, maybe in the summer, the school year starting again, and feelings that go with that. But
yeah,
Braden starting kindergarten versus Braden starting first grade, how did that differ for you?
So Braden starting kindergarten, that was really emotional because he's going to school all day for the first time, which I still think that a full day for a kindergartner is insane, even for a first grader. It's
a long day.
It's a long day. So it was emotional, but it eventually got easier because he loved kindergarten. He loved it. He loved his teacher. He loved being there. And I think kindergarten, it's more fun. Mm-hmm. First grade is definitely more structured. His teacher was like a second grade teacher for the longest time and then became a first grade teacher this year. So I think she had like a little bit of a higher expectation for the kids. Like just to be on task and to behave and stuff, which, he still likes school, but he doesn't love it as much as kindergarten because they just have less time to play and have fun. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
How you felt first grade versus kindergarten. So first grade was sad because he's going away to school.
Kindergarten was sad, yeah.
Kindergarten was sad.
First grade, obviously, I think every year is going to be sad.
Yeah.
It's because it's a new year and a new age and a little bit older. And I feel like every year they're going to be pulled away from you a little bit more because they're getting older and more independent and they want more time with their friends. But first grade, I was sad about that too. Not as sad as kindergarten. It was definitely easier. But I like I said, I think he definitely preferred kindergarten over first grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Madison's the same.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah. I mean, I know we both felt very similar about kindergarten. We talked about that. And eventually we'll have to do our thing we've talked about for years doing.
Yes.
We'll tell you someday.
We have something we planned a long time ago that we never did, and eventually we'll get there.
I had such a hard time with Madison starting kindergarten, and I think we could do a whole episode just on feelings of your kids starting school for the first time, because I have a lot to say about that, but we could do that another time. But that's just sad, like you said, your kids going off for the first time.
Riding the bus.
Riding that bus. Oh, Lord. And then it was the first time I realized, because preschool was not all of that the kids are now with other people more than they're with us. Mm-hmm. I'm like 5 days a week most of the time, most of the hours of the day, you are somewhere else with other people and not with your own parents. That's just... Thinking of that just is like mind-blowing to me. I was like, I can't believe my child is going to be with other people more than me. I know that's how it works, but I just never thought of it like that. And I was like, something just doesn't seem right about that.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I think first grade was the first time that I felt I've always told her, like, you're a big kid, you're the big kid, you're a big kid. It was the first time I felt and saw her as a big kid. We've had moments throughout this year with all of her activities and things she's doing where I just kind of like sat back and was like watching her do her stuff. And I was like, she's not asking me to come up there with her. Mm-hmm. She actually tells me, you stay over here. Don't leave, but stay over here. The other day, taking her to school, I usually walk her up to her school building door. And she wanted me to stay back by the main building and watch her. All the big kids do that. And she's like, staying back here. And I was like, you don't want me to walk you to the building? She's like, no, stay here and just watch me go in.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Or she's in her play, and we had tech week, and I walk in and I get her situated, help her get what she needs, and she's waiting for directions. I was like, just sit in your seat. And then she's like, you can go now. And I was like, don't you want me to wait till the teacher gives directions? She's like, no, I don't need you. You can go. Wait in the car. I was like, Came home and told Steve, we feel like I'm at a point now where I'm watching her grow up. Like everyone says, you'll look back and be like, oh, it all passed. But I was like, all of a sudden it just hit me where I was like, I'm actually watching the changes happen now. And I'm just like, this is what everyone tells you about. And it's just changing. But as far as her liking school, I think she's like Brayden. Loved kindergarten. And we changed from public school to private school this year, which was another change for her. She was obsessed with her kindergarten teacher. Mm-hmm. We had a great, great, great kindergarten teacher, and she misses her a ton. And that was a big shock for her when I told her, even if you stayed at this old school, mm-hmm. you're not having that same teacher next year. You might not even have the same kids in your class. And she was like, what? And so then this school, it is a private school, so she keeps saying, like, they seem more strict because of whatever. And they are not actually. Her teacher this year is incredible and not very strict whatsoever. So I keep trying to tell her, I think it's just first grade. Mm-hmm. Like, you are not the babies of the school anymore. At some point, they're going to teach you that you have responsibilities. They have expectations of how you behave. And if you get a worksheet, you have to follow the rules. You can't just color what you want to do just because it's fun and it's cute and you're in kindergarten. You're first grade now. Like, you're a big kid to you, to us, and to school. So I keep telling her, no matter where you go to school, every year there's going to be more and more things. You're just not the baby anymore. It's fun still a lot, but not all the time.
Yeah, there's definitely more structure.
Yeah.
And Brayden loves his first grade teacher too, but it with more routine and more structure and more being on task, I think it's harder because, they're still 6 and 7 and they get sidetracked easy and want to talk to their friends. And his school has this thing called like Class Dojo.
Yeah, we have it too.
Yeah, where they do points. And we kind of base the rest of his day at home on how he did at school. If he got points or got points taken away. Mm-hmm. And some days they don't get points at all, which is fine. But if he gets points taken away because he constantly needs reminders not to talk or things like that, we're like, we kind of hold back on the tablet or whatever based on that. But I do, at the same time, I don't love the Class Dojo because we didn't have that growing up.
No.
And our parents didn't know every little mistake that we made throughout mm-hmm. the day. Your parents got contacted if you were in trouble.
Or it was like a serious thing.
Or if you really did something wrong. But I don't feel like I need to know that you had to remind him 3 times to be quiet because he's 6. I mean, so you know what? It's not that big of a deal to me. To me, he's 6. I don't want him disrupting the class, but I think all of the kids.
I think that's a good mindset for you to have. And I'm actually shocked to hear that you have it. I thought you would be the opposite. Like, thank God they tell me every little detail. Because that's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I like when if they send me, like, messages about things going on.
Yeah.
But, I don't need to know. I really don't need to know that they had to remind him 3 times to sit quiet on the floor during circle time or whatever it is because he's 6. And Mike is a little more strict about that. He's like, oh, you got a point taken away today. The teacher needed to remind you. And then I'm like, Mike, he's 6. Remember?
Yes.
Sometimes I need to be reminded to be quiet.
I mean, that's what Steve and I have been saying a lot lately. I feel like we catch ourselves often, the both of us. We're being harder on mm-hmm. Madison than I was like, I think I have expectations for her that are probably unrealistic for a 6 or 7-year-old. Because then if I ever volunteer for anything in her class, all the kids are exactly like her. Yeah. Or some are even a little more, like, not rambunctious, but like hyper or calling out or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I tell Steve, I'm like, and I feel like the same with Brayden. I was like, we have really good kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, Madison is not a troublemaker, not a bully. She has like such an incredible heart. Even her teacher said that. Like at school, if a kid feels sad and they're at recess, she's one of the only kids that will walk up and like
Sweet.
sit down with them. She gets amazing grades, and she's in so many activities that I wait for her to complain, like, I don't want to go to school, or I don't want to do this, I'm just tired. Never complains, and she does it all. And I was like, and doesn't get in trouble, really. So I was like, you are such a good kid. We did get one email so far this year, because we get extra notifications on Class Dojo if she earned a point and how she did it, but I don't get any messages on, like, what she's doing through there, like, in class that's bad. But her teacher will email us.
Do they get points taken away on Class Dojo?
I've never seen her get a point taken away. They only earn points for her class, I guess.
Yeah. Because we'll get, like, a point taken away, and then it'll say why. Like, minus 1 point because he had to be reminded 3 times to stop talking to the person he was sitting next to. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
So it's like her teacher sent an email one time this whole year and said, Madison, can you please just give Madison a reminder at home? We've given however many reminders in the classroom, but I guess it's been going on for like multiple days or weeks, to just raise her hand to talk, not call out, and to stay in her seat. I guess she would stand up, like get so excited, like jump up. And that was the only thing. And I told, like, I immediately want to be like, what are you doing in class, Matt? Like, your teacher had to email me that you're and then I was like, she was only 6. I was like, you're 6, even if you're 7, doesn't matter. And we just had a conference before, or the first semester of the trimester of the school year back in the fall with her teacher. And her teacher was like, she's like my class go-to. Like, if there is a kid who's like playing in their desk doing something, I have Madison sit next to them that day, and I tell her, tell me if they're doing something they're not supposed to, because I can't watch them all the time. Or if there's a sad kid, Madison goes right to that kid. Or if she needs a volunteer, Madison's a volunteer. Participation, she's like, some kids don't participate at all. Madison will raise her hand constantly. So knowing all of that, if I get one email or whatever it is that, like you said, I had to ask them 3 times to do something, or she got up out of her seat once. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But in my head, I immediately wanted to be like, Maddie, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the first thing I've heard all year. I think it's okay.
We used to be a lot more reactive to it. And we still do correct him, like, buddy, you have to remember to be quiet, listen to your teacher. But we were a lot more reactive with it. But I got to this point where I'm like, you know what? He's only ever really gotten good, like, report from his teacher. And so I got to a point where I was like, you know what? He's 6. I can't expect a ton. It's not like he's really being disruptive. It's, you know, he's never getting a report that he's like disrupting the whole class, anything like that. Right. So I just, when he comes home, I tell him, buddy, you lost a point. You know, the teacher had to remind you a few times. Try to do better tomorrow. Try to listen the first time. But, you know, I don't, obviously if he's losing like a lot of points for the same thing over and over, we'll talk more about it. But I want the teacher to know that I am taking it seriously, as serious as I can. Like, I will talk to him about it, but he's not going to get in trouble for that.
And I don't think they would expect you to harp on them, because I'm also like, you know, they're at school all day and they have to follow rules, and they have energy and they're little, and this is the first year that things are like more serious for them. So when they come home, the first thing I don't want to do is be bombarding them with like, I know you did this, and this, and also you sit down, we have to do all this homework and blah blah blah. I'm like, you need like a break just as much as I do, even maybe more. So I was like, I can't imagine that the teachers expect us to like be on top of them as well. But Steve and I all the time, even at night, like trying to get her ready for bed, like, come on, brush your teeth, focus, stop. What are you doing now? Stop dilly-dallying, like constantly, where I'm like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? But then we'll go to a kid's birthday party for her friend, or, like I said, go into her class or any of her activities with kids her age. And every parent is talking to their kid exactly how Steve and I are. And I'm like, okay, it's not just Madison. This is just how this age is. Yep. And I have to remind myself, like, this is just this age. She's not being bad. She's being a 7-year-old. Yeah. So.
But back to what you were saying about, like, watching them grow up in front of your eyes. It is so true. Because even now, like, Braden will get off the bus and the bus stop is a few houses down and across the street. And he just wants me to like wait at our house in the driveway. So I just wait and stand there instead of walking down there. And, you know, he crosses in front of the bus before the bus driver drives away. And then he just like runs like 5 houses down to me. And it's so cute watching him run to me because I know one day he's going to be just walking to me and not running.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I did record him one day on my phone running down because
you'll
I was like,
have
I want
to share that when
remember.
he's in high school,
Yeah.
like his senior photo and then this little boy
Yeah.
coming home from the bus.
Yeah, but they really do. They grow up so quickly.
And
in front of
him
you.
doing that little bit by himself, even though you're out there and you see every bit of it, it is probably such a huge deal to him. Like,
Yeah.
I get to go.
Yeah.
Madison asked me every day last year, can I go by myself? I can't see our bus stop from our house. So I was like, absolutely not. And her bus stop is with all boys. So I was like, and a double no. So, and they were all older.
We walk down in the morning with him and stand there, but coming home, he likes to do it by himself.
Yeah.
And even like yesterday, he went to his little friend's house down the street. And when he was, right when he got off the bus and when he was coming home, I just stood outside and watched him because it's, I don't know, 5 or 6 houses away, but we can see.
You can
so
see it.
His friend's mom stood outside and watched him run to me, and I stood outside and watched him run to me. You know, and we do that with each other because her son was at our house the other day, like last week. We had like a little movie night, so they get like a little bit of independence, but we're still watching.
My mother-in-law talks about that from when Steve was little, where they lived in their like first home or whatever. He would think he was doing something completely on his own, but never realize his mom would watch him go to like a certain corner stop sign, and the house he was going to was like down the other corner, and that mom was watching and would see him like run across the street really fast because he didn't make sure no cars were coming, and then walk down there. And she was like, he thought it was the coolest thing and would tell his friends, I did it by myself. But really, parents were watching him. Yeah. But to the kids, it's such like a big independent thing. But the first time they tell you they don't want you to come, I'm like...
I know. And what I always think is like our parents... It probably feels like just yesterday we were little. And they never would imagine that they would be like this age right now with us... like 30-something years old, and I feel like we're just going to blink and our kids are going to be
there.
Yeah, our kids are going to be getting married, and it just goes by so quick.
It really does. You don't realize it till it's literally happening.
And I know we have time, but I can guarantee you none of our parents thought it was going to go by as fast as it did. You know what
yes,
I mean? Like,
I know. You don't know. I don't think anybody realizes it till after it's happened.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, that was your 15 first years of life.
Yeah.
Like your 15 hours or driving the car for the first time.
Yep.
That's what my mom always brings up with me. Like, she was like, you'll be worried to death about them going to school and doing all these things. And she's like, but still my biggest moment of like pure worry that was completely out of my control was when you got in the car by yourself for the first time ever. Like the first time I was allowed to drive with no parents or something. Like it took a while till I got to that point. But the first time ever, and she's like, and then I watched you drive away, and just like, that's it. And she's like, so I was like, please don't. I cannot imagine I will need medication when that time comes. 100%. Maybe we can get like a deal on something.
I'll be driving in the car behind them.
Right? Yes. No one's gonna know. A neighbor of mine said something about following the school bus. It was in the back of my head. Yeah. And as soon as she said it, Steve must have known. I was like, oh, that is not a bad idea. And Steve immediately was like, you are not doing that. And I was like, you will not know if I do or not. I will be that sketchy car. They'll probably call somebody on me because it'll be really awkward.
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't. I never crossed my mind until another mom said it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Until I found out where the buses go and cars can't even go that way. So I was like, I would have looked crazy.
But I always say, when Brayden gets older, if senior week is still happening and they do that,
God.
I will be there. He just won't know it. He won't know it. I'll be there.
You hear such sad stories, like kids go missing and stuff. I was like,
yeah.
Over my how
like
about
the
I
girl
just...
in the Dominican Republic just recently, and
I just can't. And then when I went to senior week, I'm like, and that's another thing. Knowing what all goes down, I'm like, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Done some pretty crazy things. I was like, I know what you can, and that's probably even worse now what kids do.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I feel like kids, how they dress, how they act, like I feel like I don't know, drugs and alcohol seem so much more available these days and stuff. So I was like, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And
we'll rent a place.
We'll just do a big family trip.
Yeah. He doesn't have to know, but I'll be watching.
The Everts and the Sweeneys are all going together. I'll drive you and drop you off with your friends, but I will pick you up.
Yeah, it's the best. They don't have to drink and drive or worry
I'll
about
like pee in a cup. I'm gonna drug test. She's probably like, I don't even want to go anymore. It's just not worth it.
We could only hope.
But yeah, I feel like this was the first year with her that I was like, I'm not just telling her. I used to be like, you're a big kid, like to boost her confidence. But I was like, to mommy, and to me, I'm like telling her you're a big kid. But in my head, I'm like, she still needs me for everything. And now I'm like, you actually, for the first time, to mommy, you are a big kid.
Yeah.
And to recognize that, I was just like, this sucks. I was like, it's great though. I'm not going to say it sucks. It sucks for me just because I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Yeah. But to see her feel confident and the changes she's doing, but she's being so good with everything, I'm like look at her go. Yeah. That's how I feel. I'm like, look at her go. And I'll just take her all the places and that's it.
Yeah. Braden's still a little shy, but he does like to do things on his own too.
If we are out in public, though, or at any activity or anything, Mommy, I have to go to the bathroom. Can you come in the stall with me? I was like, you don't want me to walk you to the door, and you want me to stay away when you're with your friends. But that girl will not go into a bathroom by herself. Even if I wait on the outside of the stall, hold the door, she wants me physically in with her. Everywhere.
Another thing that I was recently thinking about is I still give him like a hug and a kiss before he gets on the bus in the morning, and he still wants it.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen one day where he does not want that. No hugs and kisses in front of the friends, and that's sad.
That's super sad.
I don't know when that happens.
Does.
Yeah, he still does. Give him just like a kiss on the side of his head and a hug. And
Madison will do it too, and she wants to do a secret handshake. So we look crazy at school drop off, like heart, double heart, like whatever. And I was like, every day I swear everyone's looking at us, and I'm like, it's all right. Like I don't even know it all. And she's a separate one with Steve, and then she's like, give me a kiss, give me a hug, do it again. I'm like, no, you gotta go in. But I will. I'll keep doing this with you as long as you want to do it.
Yep.
But and then I thought she just wanted me to hang back and not walk her to the school building. But Steve took her today, and he texted me and said, she's making me stand here, and sent me a picture of how far away she was. I was like, ha, she's doing it to you too. I thought it was just me, so I was kind of like, oh good, but not good. But I was like, doesn't that suck? Kind of like. She doesn't want us to walk her to the door. So, and then we have a whole nother thing of feelings because, like, it's Carter's last year of preschool. And today we went to his school a little picnic. They just invite parents, and it's like the week of the child, they call it, or something. And every day's like a theme. And Fridays, like, all families can come in and have lunch with their kids and bring whatever for lunch. And it's celebrating, like, the family and stuff. But, they have a wall that said our picture perfect year with a big picture of a camera, and it's all these pictures of all the kids through their activities as the year is coming to an end, and they're learning all their little graduation songs they're going to sing. And I am like dying a slow death inside about it. I was like, Madison was very hard, like, don't get me wrong, she was my first, but this is a different hard because I was like, you're my last.
Yeah.
I still knew I had a baby at home when she was done, and I still knew I had several more years of that. And now I'm like, this is it. It's like over after this. Yeah. Like that's how I feel. It's like it's all ending. It's all, and then just seeing that wall, I was like, oh my God. And then I look at Carter. I was like, do you know you're going to, like, he knows he's going to kindergarten. I don't think I realize. I'm like, you just don't seem old enough for a kindergartner.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, but to me, I'm just like, but you're the babe. You're little. It just can't, something can't be right.
It's not right. Yeah, when Braden graduated pre-K4, it was also the same day he graduated, was his birthday too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I made, because his
May,
birthday's in May, and I made like a cute little video, and I did
what an emotional day. Yeah,
I did the "Always Remember You" Young song by Thomas Rhett in the background, and it was from when he was a baby and crawling on the carpet.
Video? Is it the song that has like the picture of the bedroom or something?
I I don't know. I made my own video.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, and like did clips of him growing up until graduation, where he threw his graduation cap in the air.
Oh,
it was so
do you
cute.
still have that?
I do. I'll show it to you later. It's on my page. I like making reels.
That makes me want to cry just thinking. I feel like it's something you would see on like a music video that would just make you bawl your eyes out.
It was an emotional day.
For sure. Yeah. I was like a sobbing mess and like felt sick to my stomach about it, just because, I mean, I feel like it's, anytime there's a big milestone in the kids' lives, even when they're older, I can't imagine I get more excited and emotional than they do. Like Madison's like she's excited, but I was like, till you're a parent, you won't ever know whatever you're feeling. I think I feel times 100 for you.
Yeah. So I guess we can talk about our summer now.
Oh yes,
what plans for the summer. And I will say, one great thing that we have is the Harford County Mom page, because she posts so many like fun activities and things that you can do with your kids around, even up into Pennsylvania and stuff, but just close around. So it gives us like a ton of ideas for the summer.
And what's cool is she goes to all the places and she can give you every little tip. Parking, that's my huge thing. Don't not tell me if I'm supposed to parallel park somewhere, because that does determine whether I go or not. I need easy parking. Yeah. If it's easy to get to, how to dress. Like, am I going to a farm? Is it going to be muddy?
All the details.
Every little thing and me, I ask a million questions. And when I read her posts, I feel like I have no question to ask. So I was like, she is like a Bible for activities.
Yeah, and she's already started posting some stuff for the summer. Yes. So I'm like trying to like keep track of the things that I want to do this summer once the weather gets warm, because there's always so many things.
Are your kids doing any camps? Well, I know Olivia's little. Is Brayden doing any camps?
So as of now, I don't have any planned, and I know like you have to register for them so early.
Because the parents that work full time, they don't have a choice. Yeah. And I know parents who like every other week their kids are in a different camp at a different place. I don't know how these poor parents keep track of this. I stress
pay for it. It's so expensive.
I stress for them. They're like, 1 week we're doing ice skating camp, and then horseback riding camp, and then camp at the gym. And I'm like, how are you keeping this straight? And holy moly, like,
I will say Brayden would hate that. He wouldn't want to do another camp, like one camp every week. He did do a summer camp last year for 1 week, and he loved it, and I really wanted him to do it again this year, because he knows a few kids that go to it, but it's actually during the same week as our summer vacation, which I didn't realize the kids got out of school so late. So our summer
snow this year,
our summer vacation is like the week after they get out of school. So they get out, the last day's Friday, and we go like that Saturday or Sunday.
He might be excited about that.
Yeah, he'll love it. But then I feel like our summer vacation trip is over.
Yeah,
which
and then you have the rest of the summer.
Yeah, we're still gonna go to New York and visit my family and stuff. But we didn't plan any actual summer camps this year, because the one that I knew he would like, we couldn't do, and he's so picky with things. Like he wants to know somebody there, and which makes it hard, because like I said, he's still kind of shy.
Yeah.
Are you doing summer camps?
We're doing just vacation Bible school through their school. We never, and when Madison was little in preschool, she might have did like a princess ballet summer camp that was for like 2 hours, and I went with her for 1 week, and that was probably it. Because I'm home and we don't need it.
Yeah.
But Madison hears what all her friends are doing, and she's like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
So we did do vacation Bible school. It's at their school, and I signed Carter up because Steve and I hope, because he's signed up as a kindergartner, it's the grade they're going into, so I'm hoping he'll meet some kids that he'll go to kindergarten with, maybe. And but it's not a full day thing. They just go Monday through Friday for like 3.5 hours, I think. Like I pick them up at lunchtime. So it's something to give them some activities, but we try to, I sound like, I know most parents don't feel this way, and that's okay. I am, obviously, if you haven't realized, I'm very different, but I really miss them during the school year, especially Madison, gone all year. So I really like that time with them. I try to do different activities, but it could be something that's just, our gym. We go to the pool.
Yep.
Like 4 days a week. We spend all day. We bring lunch and snacks, and we'll be there at 10, and we come home like 3:30. Basically rest for a little bit and then have dinner. And like,
yeah.
But they love it. Just simple. Like for me, the school year is so hectic and crazy, and we overdo it with activities in the school year. So the summer for me is just like simple summer living. That's how I feel. I'm like, we're going to eat dinner outside, out back, catch like lightning bugs. Like it's literally like my childhood. Like I was like, I feel like country song. I'm like, it's simple summer living. And Madison's like, what? And I'm like, that's our summer goal. Like we're not.
Well, we never did summer camps growing up.
I never did.
I feel like, I don't know if it's like a new thing or a newer thing, but
I feel like a lot of parents just who work full time.
Yeah,
I mean, what else do they do?
Yeah.
My parents worked full time, but I would spend the entire summer at my grandparents' house. When they lived in Chicago, my last day of school that weekend, me and my brother were flying to Chicago, and we'd be wherever they moved a lot from my grandfather's job. But my grandmother stayed home, so we would literally go wherever they lived, and we'd spend the entire summer with them.
We spent a lot of time at our grandparents' house, too, when everyone was working. But it was, like, we would pick green beans and blueberries and, like, eat watermelon and play outside. And
I really find that my kids now, especially Madison, enjoy things like that.
Yeah.
Like, when we went to pick strawberries last summer or 2 summers ago, she's like, I want to do that again. We picked them all and we came home and like ran through the sprinkler and sat out front and ate strawberries, and they had like a popsicle and like hot dogs for dinner. And I was like, this is such a summer day.
And those are the things you remember.
Yeah.
Like,
she's like, she'll tell me that's the best day ever. We could go to an amusement park, but she'll pick that day as her favorite day.
I remember most of that stuff more than I remember anything else in my childhood. Just like riding my grandparents had a long driveway, riding our bikes up and down the driveway because they didn't really let us go far or anywhere else. Or even there was like a little corner store down the street, taking walks to the corner store with my grandfather, who had to like stop at every little set of stairs to sit down on the way because he could hardly walk. Like I remember that, things like that. I don't remember going to like fancy places.
Yeah. We always did a summer vacation and stuff, but I mean, but that's what I look forward to. Like the school year is so busy and packed full with all the obligations and things kids want to do, the activities and stuff. I was like, summer, we'll take a vacation. We always take a vacation. We will do some amusement parks or day trips here and there. But most of the time, I'm like, we're going to do a craft day. We're going to go to a farm today. They're having something at a farm.
They love the farm and the farm animals.
We're going to go to the pool. We're just going to have a day outside here. And I'm just like, it's just relaxing summer, no schedule.
Yeah. I will say, like, joining the gym with the outdoor pool was like a game changer last summer because the kids both love it. Even Olivia, every day she's asking me, can we go to the pool? Can we go to the pool? And I'm like, I'm not going to the pool yet. It's too cold. Even though it's over a dome, I don't want to do that. But over the summer, there's just something different about just being at the pool. And so many people that go there, like so many of our neighbors go there, and then you meet people from working out, and the kids see people that they were with in the daycare, and it's just being able to do that whenever you want and go there whenever you want.
I did that growing up. With my grandparents. They always had a pool wherever they lived. Maybe not at their house, but in their community. Yeah. And we'd go right after breakfast and be there till like almost dinner time. So that's what I do with my kids. Since Carter doesn't nap. When he napped, we couldn't do that. Yeah. But we'll go around 10 o'clock and be there till 3:34. And I'm like, there's our day. And like you said, you see tons of friends there. And, people and then a lot of it, which I really like, you see a lot of moms with their kids, and Madison will be like, oh, that's so-and-so from school, or Carter last year saw a bunch of kids from his preschool, and I got to know the moms. And then usually now there's always somebody and you're all at the pool together, like, hey, and the kids like to play with friends. I think that was a big thing, like joining the gym and having that area to go. Because I'm like, on a day where there's nothing else to do, we have the pool.
Yeah. And I feel very lucky that I only work 3 days a week. So over the summer, I'm not off all summer, but there are some moms that work, 5 days a week and overtime, and they're there all day, and they just don't get that time. So even though I still work a full-time job, I still have a lot of time where I can spend the day with them at the pool or
Right.
take them somewhere. So I don't need that summer camp. And the summer camp's amazing because they have a great time and get to meet other kids. So I
And
get
some of them, the good ones that I've heard of, fill up
so quick.
like in a day.
No, you have to, like, as soon as they open, register because they fill up
like
so
a wait list.
quick.
Steve will tell me, and it always puts things in perspective for me about being able to do so much with my kids because I do stay home with them or whatever. But he'll be like, I really am jealous that you get to just go with them to the pool all the time, or I feel like I'm missing out on like the fun days. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm very, very lucky. And even Madison, she's like, how come I don't go to after school care? It sounds like fun. I was like, because I stay home, so you get to come home. Like she thinks all those kids, what they're doing is fun because it's all of her friends together. That's why she's like, can I do a summer camp? I'm like, if there's one you really want to do, I mean, yes, as long as it's not like outrageous. But I was like, but don't you want to do stuff with me? Like, we'll make play dates. Like, you're one of the first people. If I'm like, oh, we have nothing going on, I know that during the week a lot of people I know are working, but I know you're one that I'm like, hey,
I'll meet you.
What's your schedule?
Pool. We can go someplace, even if we both have panic attacks driving over a bridge to get there.
We did do Dutch Wonderland by ourselves.
Yes. And we can this year too.
Yes, we can. Yes.
We can do it. We did it once. We'll do it again.
So, but yeah. I look forward to summer, and I'm not the parent that's like, oh, I'm ready for my kid to go back to school. I'm quite the opposite of that. I dread it starting. I get excited to have like a schedule back in place and a routine. I do look for that by the end of the summer, but I don't need them to go away for 8 hours a day.
I'm getting excited because we're getting closer to the summer, but then at the same time, it makes me sad because I know the summer goes by so quick, and then they're going to be in another higher grade and even older. So sad to think about that.
I look down and I'm like, oh, wait till she's in 3rd grade. That sounds old. And then before I know, I'm going to be like, oh my God, do you remember when I thought 3rd grade? I remember when I thought 1st grade seemed old. Now I'm like, oh, 3rd grade sounds old.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to be looking back and be like, do you remember when I thought that? I don't know. Apparently I'm old because Madison says you have gray hair. Yeah.
Oh, me too. Me too. And you know what? One day they will. Actually, I don't know about the redheads, how they do with their gray hair.
I think it's light.
I think it comes a lot later for them. So they're
Good
lucky.
for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. They can thank us. So, whatever you're doing this summer, have fun. And if you have any comments, like if you're a mom that has to do the summer camp Jenga game that I hear about so much and how that is, maybe a bunch of moms can, because obviously we can't quite relate to that. So maybe some of you have a way you can relate to having to do that and the stress of it, or your kids, do they absolutely love it? Because I do hear some of these summer camps, kids beg to go back because they love it. Or do you live like a simple summer life like I'm all about? But yeah. And how sad it is watching them grow up. How many of you have had the moment where you're like, they're going away now, or I'm like, they are growing up and I'm recognizing it happen, and this is really, really sad. Happy at the same time, but more sad than happy. Yeah. So, anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Well, eventually we should talk about kindergarten, what it was like having them go.
That first year. Yeah, you'll be experiencing it.
I can't talk about that right now. I can talk about Madison going, but I cannot talk about him going because I've already dealt with her. All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks.